Welcome to the 1% Club. We are on the money. Hello, hello. Great to see everyone. And yes, I'm back in Northern California. Surprise my kids. Steve, I saw you in the office. I ran after you and you ran out the door. You never even saw me. I was chasing you the whole way, but you are fast. Anyways, great to be back. Got in after midnight, got to bed at 1, and at 5:45, I was awake and fired up. We so many cool things. First of all, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I don't know. I love the holidays. For me, I'm like a kid in a candy store. So awesome. Today, we're gonna blow your minds. We're gonna give you a chance to copy Levi Mcdonald. What we do is we see successful things and we just copy them. I'm not a big rip off and duplicate thing. I know people say that, was it R&I research and R&D research and development, or rip off and duplicate? I don't like the way that sounds, but I my whole life have copied people that were doing great things with their life. And let me tell you, Levi Mcdonald is on a tear. I said, Levi, I'm just going to give you my 1% club and tell him what you're doing, Levi, because he's on fire. I love him. He's here right now. So I don't know if we have a way to pin him and make him front and center, but let's do that. Levi, thank you for coming on. I know you have some people helping you out here. So tell us what you guys are doing to grow your business. Lay it on us, baby.
Family, what is up? What's up, y'all? Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Tuesday. Hey, man, listen. So I am truly blessed. I am truly blessed to be here with you all, to be in this great company, and just to be associated with so many amazing people. So I'm gonna jump right into it. This is what happened. So I was on my call. We do a role play call 3 days a week, and one of the agents that was on our call was like, "Hey, Levi, we got this challenge going on, and Terry from the Wealthy Group invited us to this challenge." I'm like, hold on, what is going on? So I said, yeah, definitely tell us about the challenge. And literally, as soon as we got off the call, my phone rings. And on the other end of my phone is Mrs. Terry Gleaton. She's the leader of the Wealthy Group right here in Atlanta, right? So Terry called me, and Terry was like, "Hey, Levi, we're doing this challenge. This is what it's all about. Do you want to be a part of it?" So really, without me even knowing exactly what I was saying yes to, I was like, "Yeah, of course we'll be a part of it." So she was like, "Great." She said, "Send me your Zoom, send me your logo, and we'll do it." And Brent, I sent her my logo. This lady had a whole flyer and everything built together with the challenge in less than 10 minutes. So this is what happened. First and foremost, collaboration over competition. You got two groups right here in Atlanta, based locally right here in Atlanta, that we're separate groups, but we are collaborating and we're coming together on one common goal, which is Asian attraction. Now, I'm going to bring Terry up. Terry's going to tell you all the details about what this challenge entails, but let me tell you all what it's doing. First and foremost, I have never been this excited, this long, this consistently about Asian attraction. Y'all know how you feel when we go to EXPCon or wherever we go, all these places we go, and then you just be so pumped up and you be ready to run through a wall, and then next thing you know, 3 weeks down the road, it's like you going back to your regular stuff and you need another event to go to. This challenge, this accountability, this group of people, and our daily interactions has kept me so in it, and it's kept everybody in it. But let me tell y'all this. The one thing that I believe one of our biggest problems around getting people plugged in is, number one, getting them to see it, right? So getting them to understand and see what it is before they really know what it is. And once they see it, it's like, okay, once you see it, you can't unsee it. I can't wait to join EXP. And then you come to EXP, and then they don't want to have anything to do with it. This right here has been the most successful way that I have seen us be able to introduce the concept of Asian attraction to an entire organization at one time, and introduce it in a way to where not only they understand it, but it's causing a mind shift. It's causing a shift of the mind. It's causing a shift in the way that you see it. We've been talking about our goals, our future. We put ourselves in Brent Gove's shoes already. We're already making $10 million a month. We know what it's going to mean to us when we're making $10 million a month. because we've already said it. We express gratitude. But like I said, it really is the most successful thing I've seen that allows people to understand what it is, be able to connect to it, be able to implement it in their day-to-day business in regards to production, feel it, and then roll with it. So I'm gonna be quiet because I was invited to this challenge, and I am so thankful and blessed to be invited to it and to be a part of it. And when I tell you all that it is changing our people, it is changing the hearts and the minds of our people, and we're literally able to see it every single day because a part of the challenge is that they got to tell us every single day, right? So without further ado, everybody, welcome to the floor, Miss Terry Gleaton. What's up, Terry?
Hey, Levi. Oh my gosh, I feel famous.
You are famous.
Oh my goodness, what an introduction. Thank you so much for reaching out to Brent. Brent, thank you for allowing us to come on your call today. I got the Wealthy Group is in the house. You hear me? We are in Brent Gove's house today. So first and foremost, thank you for that. We are so humbly grateful to be a part of this mastermind, and we're excited, and we'll be plugging in each and every week because you know what? We on fire, baby. We are on fire, and we are about to burn it down. So I first, I've been in the industry for 20 years. My husband and I previously owned 6th Century 21 offices. My husband did not renew the franchise agreement in 09. We became an independent, and we were just out there hanging out, from 2009 until we heard about EXP in 2017. We came over with our about 20 agents at our brokerage. We grew to about 35 agents, and we just focused on production. We were excited to get back in that space. We did the icon thing a couple of times. We were rolling in that space. And in 2021, Black EXP was birthed, and I was invited to be a speaker at an international conference down in Puerto Rico. And we went, and I know big things happen at big events. So I encouraged my entire downline to fly to Puerto Rico for this event. And we were successful in getting about 20 some odd of our agents to attend. And while we were there, we just go. I don't know what to expect. We're going as givers to share how we got to Icon several times, how we did it. So we were just going as givers. And while we were there were these two guys, more mature gentlemen. They were taxi cabbing around my organization as if their life depended on it. They were so hospitable. They were so humble. Two separate gentlemen, two separate cars, just driving my whole organization around, picking them up, taking them to lunch, picking them up, taking them to the hospital, picking them up, not hospital, to the conference. I mean, it was amazing. I had no clue who these guys were. And on the second day of the conference, first day it was all production. First half of the second day, it was all about production. That afternoon, these two gentlemen take over the conference, and it was none other than Brent Gove and Gene Fredericks, who were playing taxi cab driver for our organization. And I'm almost about to cry because that conference changed my life. We came over to EXP just like Levi said, with this excitement of plugging into agent attraction, and we just did not do it, you guys. We came over, we brought our brokerage, we picked up about 10, 15 agents, and we were okay. We were okay. And when we went to that conference, and Gene Fredericks told me, listen, Calvin, you guys own 6th Century 21s. Well, guess what? I used to own 6 KWs. And, hitting Icon is great, and I'm not taking anything from you. That Icon is amazing, He said you get about 40 listings a year and you have an amazing year. And he said, but I'm trying to tell you, man, if you get 40 agents, you're going to have an amazing life. And there's many Wealthy Group folks on the call. y'all shout out if you're in the wealthy group and you went on that Puerto Rico trip. It was such an amazing trip. It really changed my life. It changed my life. It changed my life. It changed my whole life. When we left there, I was on fire and I was determined to do something about it. So when we came back, I branded us the wealthy group. And that same 22 people I invited over to my country club, we had a luncheon, and I said, listen, I want you all to put on your running shoes and we're going to take off. And so in July of 2021, my entire organization was 32 people. In 18 months, we had 350 agents in our group. And that's because we were determined to build a community that was running together. We were determined to ensure we had like-mindedness, right? And that's what we did. And it was amazing. It was so amazing.
Terry's driving, so she was a little froze up here.
My rev share went from one thing to something else that I didn't like. So we had to get out there and start focusing on production again. And I lost my dad. I lost my uncle. I lost my father-in-law. I lost my cousin. I lost my dog. I lost a really close friend, all in a short period of time. And what I realized today that I didn't realize when I was in the moment, that I was in survival mode, and I wasn't focused. I lost total focus. And then I went to EXPCon this year, and I'm getting somewhere with this, you guys. I just want you to understand the mindset, because we've all been in that space before, and life's, you know, if you're on the call and life's for you, let me know. Life's, you know. And I went to EXPCon this year, right? Adversity through good things happen, but you have to have the mindset to receive that, right? When I went to EXPCon, the number one agent in my entire organization, the highest producing, most successful agent in our organization, told me she was probably going to leave EXP and start a KW office. And I like to faint it. I like to faint it, right? And I realized in that moment that in the last year, I had moved my eye from the prize and not have been duplicating the process and sharing with people how great EXP is. If you're on this call, then you've got to know EXP, it's great. But if we don't tap in to what EXP has to offer, we can lose sight of the gift that we have. And that's what had happened. So I wasn't even mad at her, right? I was mad at me. But I reached out to Kendall Bonner, one of the vice presidents at EXP, and I said, 911. I sent her a text through Facebook or Workplace, and I said, 911, I need help. She didn't know what help I needed. She didn't care what it was. She instantly hit me back and said, what's going on? What can I do? I shared with her what was happening. Literally within 12 hours, she had us sitting in front of 4 VPs and the director of growth, the director of success, agent success. And when I started understanding the magnitude of what EXP has to offer, I realized I had to do something different. If I wanted massive change in my business, I had to do something massively different. So when I came back from EXPCon this year, I prayed on it. I talked to my husband about it. And I said, Calvin, I got to do something different this year. I have got to get these agents involved with agent attraction. And he said, well, whatever you're doing, I got this side, run with it. I put on my running shoes and I said, you know what? I got to create a challenge. I have to challenge people to think different. I've got to challenge myself to be different in this moment. I have got to take the bull by the horn and run with it a different way. So 2 o'clock in the morning, I was up. I was prayed up. And I'm a cussing Christian, so I might cuss a little, and you all can't be offended, okay? I'm a sailor. I served 13 years in the Navy, and I cuss like a sailor, okay? So listen, I was up 2 in the morning, and I said, if I could just get 40 agents on board, right? I have 325 agents now, and I said, how could I get us to 1,000 agents and just blow the socks off of this entire organization? How could I do that? And I said, wait a minute. If I got 40 agents to go out and get 40 agents, well, goddamn, we have 1,600 agents in our group. And I said, what if I did something so radical and so crazy? And instead of setting a goal of getting 1,000 agents in 5 years, what if I did it in 90 days? What would that look like? So I caught up a few of the leaders in our group. Karen Johnson is one of them. She's on this call today. She owned 2 exit franchises prior to coming over to EXP. She's amazingly successful. She's one of my closest friends. And I told her, and she said, T, you crazy, but I'm down. She said, you crazy, but I am down. So I just came up with this challenge that I want 40 agents to attract 40 agents in 90 days. And I created a logo, and I came up with all these things that we would do daily. And then I went walking that morning when I got up, and man, my mind was on fire. Levi, my mind was just, I had like 1,000 thoughts going on in my head. And I just did it, you guys. I just jumped out the window. I didn't have the whole thing planned out. I didn't know exactly how it was going to work. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but I knew that these agents deserved it. I knew that the people in my circle that trusted me, trusted in my leadership, I knew they deserved something greater than depending on the next closing check. I knew that they deserved to plug into what the company has to offer. I knew that they deserve to experience financial freedom the way that I have experienced it over the last few years at EXP. I knew that they deserve so much greater for their families. And I didn't want people having the name the wealthy group and starving to death, you know? So I went all in. And I just jumped out the window and I started the challenge, and I started doing a countdown, and I started telling all the agents, I'm looking for agents that want freedom. I'm looking for agents that want to focus on their legacy. I'm looking for agents that don't want to worry and live check to check. I want agents that want to win. If that's you, I want you to run with me. I'm only looking for 40. I don't need all 320 of you. I only want 40 that believe in this. And 40 stood up. The exact number 40 stood up, and I knew that God had a plan for us, Levi. I knew it. I knew it. 40 people exactly texted me and told me they were with me. And so we took off running. And when I launched the challenge, the very day I launched the challenge, in my Facebook group, there's a lot of agents that are not with my organization. And so I guess other agents saw it. You know what I mean? Like, other agents saw it. And so as I started getting the messages to join the challenge, I'm just so excited. I'm letting them in. And I'm like, wait a minute, who is Rose? I don't have anybody in my organization. Rose, right? And as these names started coming in, somebody finally says, one of the people says, I'm in Levi's group. Thank you so much for allowing us to be in that challenge. And in that moment, I realized it wasn't just about my downline. It really was about the community that we've created at EXP. So that's when I called Levi and I told him what I was doing. And he said, Terry, I'm all in. And yeah, so that's the challenge. So every day, this is what the challenge consists of. We have a few rules, right? Because there has to be rules of engagement, right? So you have to post an accountability video every single day in the challenge, every day, right? If you miss 3 days in a row, you're out of the challenge. We have exercises and activities that you do. You had to create a list. So this was the challenge. Step one was to agree that you were going to do it. Step two was to download the toolkit that EXP has provided for RevShare and agent attraction, right? Step three, get this. You all have to understand, we are a $1 billion brokerage. We ain't no small potatoes, all right? This brokerage has resources way beyond your imagination. And I thought, wait a minute, EXP has all these vice presidents that are directors of growth and region of growth and this and that. So I called Tony King. He's the vice president of growth. And I said, listen, I'm doing a challenge and I want all of my agents that are in this challenge to specifically meet with you on a one-on-one and come up with a strategy. I'm going to get to 1,000 agents before I go to Cabo next year. And I need your help. And he said, how the world do you think you're going to do that? I said, if you put on your running shoes, I'm putting on mine. I can do it. And so that was one of the steps. Everybody in our group had to reach out to the vice president of growth and schedule a strategy session, right? Because I can't do this all on my own, but $1 billion brokerage backing me, I just might do it, right? And when the agents started having their strategy sessions, they were coming back and they were excited. If you were somebody and you did one of those one-on-one strategy sessions with Tony King, light it up in the chat. Tell people what you experienced. Light it up in the chat, you guys. Tell everybody on this call what you experienced, what tools you got, the confidence that you received after having that session with our vice president. Light it up for me, you guys, because I can't tell it all by myself, but you know what it did for you. You know the confidence that it gave you. You knew the tools that we had, the strategies that were just for you. They weren't my ideas, they were your ideas, right? And then once they had that session, you guys, we took off running. And so we've only been in the challenge for about a week. We've already onboarded about 12 agents since we started. Let me tell you something. I've only been onboarding about 4 agents a month. 4 agents a month over the last year, but 7 to 10 have been offboarding. So this has been amazing to see this growth. And here's the thing. It's a challenge, right? So we're holding each other accountable. We're doing these activities every day. Like it's real homework assignments. And that fire 50 list, I said, no, we're not doing fire 50. We're doing fire 250, right? We're doing fire 250. And so we touch on these 250 every day. It's just, I don't know, you guys, I'm getting dizzy just from my own excitement. But that's it in a nutshell. You know, Brent, Levi, so you let me know. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm talking too much.
No, you're good. We also meet twice a week. Terry has it to where we meet twice a week at 7 a.m. Eastern time on Mondays and Fridays. And really, this is what this challenge is doing, you all. This challenge is introducing people to the habits that we need to have in order to continue to make our connections and become master inviters. That's really what it's doing. We know it's big. We know it's 40 and 90 days, and we know that that's a huge task. But guess what? The 40 coming, they may not come in 90 days, but the 40 are coming. And what's happening right now is that the people are laying the seeds and they're laying the groundwork for it. Because we all know, if you've been around agent attraction for a while, you know your biggest fish don't come immediately anyway. They call you when you least expect it. So that's what's happening. And when I tell y'all about shift, mindset, activities, everybody in this group is becoming a master inviter. And I go to bed every single night looking at these videos. I go to bed looking at these videos. That's one of the lack of, because number one, you got to remember to do your own video first and foremost. So I go to bed watching these videos every day, and the inspiration that is
Levi,
being shared. Go ahead.
Of a video. Give me an example of a video someone posts. Hey, this is Brent Gove. Boom. And is it like 30 seconds, a minute? What is it?
So the video has to be a minimum of 60 seconds, right? We want you to do a 60-second video. Well, actually, that's the max. But these videos sometimes are 2 and 3 minutes. But I'll give you an example of a video that blew me away. right? Someone does a video. They say, listen, this is Terry. I'm checking in. I'm using my name, but it wasn't me. I'm dreaming big. I'd never thought about this before. I've reached out. I've sent text messages to 25 people today. I've invited them to the mastermind call tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm on fire. I can't wait to see if my guests show up. I'm going to text them tomorrow to remind them. Those are the type of videos that we're getting posted every day. But the other side to that, Brent, is we're all brilliant people. Everybody has their own God-given talent, right? So what you have is all these people coming on and they're dropping ideas that work for them and strategies and tips and organization skills. And you're like, wait a minute, I want to do that too. But we're sharing Google documents and all types of cool things. So it's just overwhelmingly amazing, Brent. I can't say enough
That is
about just the
awesome.
whole.
We may post it may be a speech from, it may be one of your speeches from one of your events. Hey, watch this Brent Gove speech and tell me what's most important. What did you get out of it? Hey, watch this Jay Kinder speech. Tell me what you got out of it. So things of that nature. It's fire. It is
So
fire.
I wrote this down, and Terry, thank you. Levi, thank you. You guys are amazing. So I want to keep asking questions. I want people to be able to ask in the chat. But you said, number one, they have to agree to be a part of it. Number two, they got to download the toolkit that EXP provides. Where would they find that toolkit for people that are going, I don't know, EXP had a toolkit on agent attraction. Where do they even find that?
My EXP. Well, that's one place.
So go to
Right.
my EXP and then look, you'll see it there. Some heck, I don't even know where it is. I don't even,
It's an amazing tool that EXP recently launched, and Tony can provide it. But if you Google right now, EXP Realty RevShare Toolkit, it'll come right up. And it's very amazing. It has videos, it has scripts, it tells you the type of attractor that you are, which is huge for you because a lot of times we're so busy trying to emulate Brent, emulate Levi, but again, you have your own God-given talents, and
Yes.
EXP recognizes that, and it's important that you plug in to the type of attractor you are so you can take off running. You don't have to run sideways. You can run straight for your goals.
I love this. I want to show us our next speaker. It's in 10 minutes. We got time. Is right here. Wendy is amazing. And she, right there, she went from selling 500,000 homes. These are her sales this year. The lowest one was 850, all the way up to 12 million, 11 million, 7 million. 5. She's going to teach you guys how to do the luxury market. She switched it 1 year. Done. She went from selling that to that. So it's a decision, and Wendy's going to come on in about 10 minutes, but same thing with attraction. The reason you're not a luxury agent is you did not commit yourself and burn the boats and go berserk and get an accountability, create a community thing that Terry has created and Levi has joined. I think this is great. And if people wanted to join you, is it too late for that? Would it maybe be the next round, or they can create their own?
They can create their own, and I don't mind sharing the blueprint, but it would be too late for us because we have a scoreboard and it has to be updated and all of that. And so it's just a little cumbersome to add people now, but I promise you, we're going to continue to do challenges, maybe not the exact same one, but I'd love to share the blueprint with anybody that would like it, that feels
Awesome.
that they could benefit off of something like this. I don't mind sharing because there's enough for all of us. There's abundance for us all.
Would you come back next week on the 1% Club and just share the blueprint real quick? Take 5 minutes.
I will.
Through it and tell people where they can get it. So you guys, and that was really my goal here, was to say, hey, to you guys out there, go create your own. Clark Broom's here, and he'll know where I am. He created in 1983, 82, 81, the Del Taco Club. Clark, what year was it? And how many people were part of the Del Taco Club?
Actually, it started in 1986.
Okay.
And the Del Taco Club was with my senior business partner, 2 senior business partners that helped me build the business. All 3 of us got together, but we formed what we call our Rhino Club, 1996 or 86, in my real estate office in our conference room. And in order to show up there, you had to have 10 viable contacts per week. And back then we used an audio as a prospecting tool, and you had to have 10 of those out per week. Out of those 12, our organization grew over to 50,000 independent business owners in 10 years.
The Del Taco Club, but it was a handful of people. How many of you did you form that with? It wasn't, these guys started with like 40. How big was it? Wasn't it just 3 of you that started the Del Taco
Yeah,
Club?
well, it was my senior business partners, but then I decided to take a challenge on, just like Terry. And I said, I need to make this thing happen. It's happening too slow for me right now. I need to make it happen. So there's 10 of us. And you know all 10 of them.
Yeah,
And
yep. Everybody went on to become multimillionaires.
Yep, they did.
1986, the Del Taco. Form your Del Taco Club. This is your moment. Terry, I love you. See, there's some like, I want to speak at Cabo. I want to speak at Build. Get yourself out of the people pile. How do you get yourself out of the people pile? You go freaking bananas. B-A-N-A-S. Go bananas. B-A. Go crazy. Let it rip. Be authentic. You don't want to be me. I'm goofy. I'm a big goofball. I'm a hugger. I'm a lover. I know what I am. I focus on the good. I got things I can focus on. What are you focused on right now to grow? Clark, thank you. Terry, Levi, I want to give you the last few minutes here before we get to Wendy. Wendy's going to be on in 9 minutes. Don't go anywhere. If you want to know how to list 5, 10, $15 million homes, she was just a normal $350,000 to $450,000 selling homes for decades. And she was tired. She goes, I'm going to do this. So she sold way less, only like 12, but they're all multi-million dollars. She's making more. So she can explain how she did that. But Terry, Levi, anything you want to leave us with in these next few minutes for people to go form their own 40/40 club or the 88 club or the Del Taco Club or whatever they want to form?
Yeah, I definitely want to say there is one component that I feel is the secret to the success of any challenge. You have to be solid in the accountability piece, right? Just like Levi said, you leave Build, you leave Cabo, you leave EXPCon, you feel like you can run through a brick wall. And then, 10 days later, you're back to the same old, and I was determined for that not to be this time. And so creating the challenge created accountability for me, right? In my mind, I was now accountable to 40 agents in my organization that I had to see it through. I couldn't just quit because I wasn't quitting on just me. I was quitting on them. And so what the challenge has done, it's created that same level of accountability for everybody in there. They can't quit on them because it's like they're quitting on all of us. And we're cheering each other on. We're pushing each other through all of those things. So Levi, anything that you can add to that?
I just piggyback on what you're saying. I mean, one thing that I remember hearing Brent say a long time ago is that you have to recruit yourself every single day. And initially, my first thought was, okay, I need to watch a video every day. And that's what I was doing. I was watching videos every day with my recruits and everything. But this accountability challenge is another way that every single person is able to be held accountable, and they're recruiting themselves every single day. Love you, Terry. Thank you for creating this challenge. Thank you for inviting us. I think that this is going to change the way that EXP attracts across the globe. Hey, man, we don't compete. We complete, baby. We don't compete.
There you go.
We complete. I love it. Collaboration over competition, but it's okay to be competitive too. But man, do the right thing. You guys are so awesome. Thank you for being on today. Hey, another idea. I want to share this with you just real quick. I did the 1/10 of 1% club, and this is called the 1% club. And we met every single night at my house at 9 o'clock at night. I was 19 years old, and when you're young, you're crazy. But I had a group of 4 of us, and Steve Hillier is here because of that group. He was in that group back in the day. We were insane, 19-year-old kids meeting every single night at 9 p.m. We come flying in. It was dangerous. You were late, you owed $100. Nobody was ever late. But if you were walking in my neighborhood close to 9 o'clock, very dangerous. We're like Tokyo drifting Honda Civics. We're 19 years old, but we were there every night at 9 o'clock, and we all went on to become super successful. Radical accountability, a brotherhood, a sisterhood, community, exactly what they were talking about. So good. So, by the way, I'm going to whisper something. I hope you're listening. I do inner circle. I meet with a group of about 30 people 3 times a year. We meet on yachts. We meet on exclusive locations. I can't do for free because we meet in yachts and exclusive locations. I have 15 spots left. If you're curious, go to cabo25.com, scroll to the very bottom, and it just says a little print. It looks like it says inner circle. What's that? Click on the button. So for those of you that want to be a part of that, I wish it was free. It's not. I pay $250,000 a year to be a part of Tony Robbins. It's nowhere near that, but we're meeting on yachts. We're meeting in exclusive locations. We're having fun, and we're going to the next level. So it's just a little side thing, only room for 15. I do a very small group. It's not that I want to be exclusive. It's just a small thing I do that's really fun. If that's, you know who you are, if that interests you, cabo25.com, the website, go to the bottom. By the way, I want to end with the story. We'll get Wendy up here. I had a guy call me. He's been doing production. He's going to be on the inner circle. He was doing 16 million a year when he joined EXP 3 or 4 years ago. You know what he's going to do this year? $250 million. He got from 16 million to $250 million. He goes, but I was just like you heard, all production. So he says, I started focusing on agent attraction, and lo and behold, he goes, now I think he has 225 agents in his group. And he goes, I just need to switch. And he goes, I go, how'd you do it? He goes, I did just how I became successful in real estate. I got myself in the right rooms. I always put myself in rooms with people way more successful than me. You know who he was? He was 16 years old. And he got his girlfriend pregnant. And they had the baby. They didn't abort that baby, and they were broke, but they were in love. When he was 24, he goes, I got to get out of, I forget where he was, but they moved from like Albuquerque, New Mexico, or wherever he was, to Orange County. And when he joined EXP a few years ago, he's now, he's not 16 anymore. I think he's 32, but you know, he's going to do $250 million, but he's like, there's overhead, there's employees, there's all very sophisticated. He goes, but I just copied. I got around people. I just copied them. He goes, I'm doing the same thing and it's working. But here's the point I want to make. He goes, I'm coming to Cabo, man. I'm bringing my leaders. I go, how many leaders you got? He goes, I have 5 key leaders I'm coming with. I said, here's the deal. When I went to my Cabo, my first event, he's never been to Cabo. He's never been to an event. He never went to Puerto Rico, like we heard, right? He's shown up with 6 people. Now you have to go around and teach hundreds of people what you heard and seen. You can't do it. When I went to my first event in Fort Lauderdale from California, I brought 19 on my front line, not 5. And they watched how hard I do it. They brought 70. I showed up to my first event with about 90, about 1/3. So if you have 30 people in your group, you need to show up to Cabo with 10. If you have 90 people in your group, you need to show up to Cabo with 30. The bounce you get off Cabo, Ed Milet, Pace Morby's coming. We just locked in Pace Morby's, legend. Tom Ferry, Derry Brecca. There's so many great people coming to Cabo this year. So I just want to say that. So little side note there, and let's see how we do it on time. Okay, so we're going to start with Wendy Goss. Don't go anywhere. She can teach you how she went from just selling normal homes to doing the multi-million-dollar market. She's going to go fast. She's only got about 20, 25 minutes to share. She's going to teach you how to do it. Don't go anywhere. She's on in about 90 seconds. So let's go ahead and start the video countdown clock and the music. We'll see you in 90 seconds. Thanks for being on, everyone. We'll see you. Good job.